Hey guys, welcome back to the one and only CHRIS podcast with the one and only host, me, Chris. So today is episode 4, and today I have a special guest, long-awaited guest, the one and only Miss Stacy, and that's with an E, not an S.
Hi guys.
Yes, Queen. The fact that you're on my podcast right now is kind of iconic, but we've been wanting this. We, as in me, I've been trying to have her come on here, you guys, and she is one booked and busy girl, but she made it happen today.
I'm just shy. I don't.
Yeah, true. She's coming out in my YouTube videos, like on my main channel before, but never, like, you know. So yeah, you are shy. She shut up real quick. So you guys, we got some twisted teas because we're feeling twisted, and it's because Mrs. Stacy, Miss Thang, she's like, I need to get a little loose and comfortable. So y'all know me, I really don't drink like that, but
can you open this for me?
yeah, but I was like, you know what, might as well, it'll be a little vibe or whatever. Cheers. Ugh, bro, I just don't like the taste of alcohol no more. Like,
No,
I'm
the
old.
raspberry ones are so good.
I'm
They
so
taste
old,
just like
that's why. I'm already 25, so I'm like, ew.
I'm 25 too.
True, when's your birthday?
December 31st.
You're a Capricorn,
I'm
okay.
a Capricorn. I think that's why we're like that.
You think so?
Because Scorpios and Capricorns are known to being very compatible.
True.
Yeah.
So you guys, a little backstory. I met Stacy. We were just talking about this in the car, and I'm like, what? I felt like I'd known her longer. But she said it was in March when we met, right? March?
Yeah, it was in March.
So it's only been 3 months, and I'm like, really? If I thought we met, like, known each other at least for a year.
Because we just, like I told you, like I feel like we just unloaded everything on each other. So we know so much about each other
I
already.
literally like am always calling her or FaceTiming her. I'm like, girl, guess just what happened, or girl, and I don't know why. Maybe that's why, yeah, because the relationship's really close. But I met her through a mutual friend, Arilene. She one day was over at her house. Was I living here already? No, huh? I was.
No, you were gonna move in.
Yeah, okay. Because you helped me move in. I remember y'all helped in everything. She was here through that whole process and everything.
Yeah.
But she did how when I met her, she was asleep. They were hungover, and I was like, girl, get up. It's 5 o'clock. And then that's when you met me, and then you're like, oh, I've been had you on Instagram, whoop-de-woo. And I was like, oh, really? I don't go into expectations of people knowing who I am. Like, sometimes I forget Colorado's really small, but I'm not like, oh yeah, she, like, you know, that's just weird. Like,
and we don't have a lot of influencers in Colorado.
True. I like how you say Colorado. Say it.
Colorado.
Yeah, I like how you say it like that. But I feel like it's because, I don't go and be like, yeah, of course she follows me. That's why I was shook when I was like, oh, you do? And when I finally followed you back on Instagram, because you're like,
this was what, last week?
No.
You're like, did you see my close friends? I was like, bitch, you don't even follow me.
It's because I forget. I don't follow people. It's weird. Like, I literally have like a specific amount. I just don't follow people. Like, I don't know. I'm just weird about it. I just really don't care. I think that's why, like, I have people that I consider my best friend that I don't even follow them on social media. So that's, I was like, okay, whatever. But I did want you to see my close friends. I was like, wait, I only have like 25 people, if that, on there.
Yeah.
So I was like, did you see it? Did you not? And then yeah, but I did recently follow you back on Instagram, and then I was like, oh, okay, period. She's been following for a minute because you were like, sent me messages. I never seen them though. That's why I was like,
I know, it was so cringe to me. I was like, oh my gosh, it was giving such fangirl. Like, okay, so I'm a mom of 3. I have 3 kids. I recently, almost a year ago, left my ex. So I'm going through a really bad divorce, which I think we're gonna get into anyways.
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
Speaking of.
So yeah, literally. So yeah, I just kind of, I think my life is just based all around my kids and my divorce right now. Like, I don't really know what else to say, like, other than I'm like finding myself. I went crazy for a little bit, and now I feel like I'm finally in my healing era. And that recently started like, what, a week ago?
But I think that's kind of cool in a way, because like, I'm grieving someone passing and you're grieving like somebody who's still alive, if that makes sense. Would you agree or disagree?
No, I agree. I think I grieve
like your old life and like everything.
Yeah, because I mean, I always say this, I was controlled my whole life. Like, I went from, you know, living with my parents, and, you know, obviously you have to listen to your parents, and then I got pregnant at 14, and then I
I don't feel like I've never asked that. I don't know why I thought you got pregnant like at 18.
No, I was 14. 18, I had 2 kids.
Really?
Yeah,
wait, why did I know this? How old is Jacob?
Jacob's 10.
Oh, okay, and he's your first, right?
Yes. So I went through, I went from him, like, living with my parents to moving in immediately and, like, being married and tied down. So then when I finally got freedom, I was like, like, going crazy.
Well, because you were married for how long?
10 years.
Yeah, that's a lot. So you got married at what age?
So, like,
because I'm like, wait a minute.
Like, officially I'm like,
the math there.
Yeah, like, officially married, I was 19.
Oh, okay, like legally married.
Yeah, like legally married. But we didn't even get married for the right reasons either. Like, we got married because I was trying to leave this man. So he was like, oh no, I have to, like, tie her down. She's actually leaving. So he proposed to me, you know, while we were going through that. And then I got pregnant. I got pregnant like a month after he proposed. And I had a miscarriage. Yeah. And then after that, I was like terrified to get pregnant again. I was like, like, I don't want no more kids.
And that would have been your second or
my third?
Your third. Okay.
Yeah. And then finally I had made up my mind. 2019, we got married in February of 2019. I don't remember what day. I just remember. And I remember going there, like, because he had told me when I have a day off, like, we're just going to go get married.
Like, just go to the courthouse and do it.
Go to the courthouse and do it. And I was like, okay. And I remember the day that we got married, I just had this gut feeling like, don't do it. Don't do it. But I was like, how do I tell this man, like, no,
you don't want to get married? Yeah,
how do I tell you that no, I don't want to get married?
At this point in time, were you like already, well, you said you were trying to leave, you're already over the relationship, so like, was it just toxicness? Was it because, I mean, you guys were together since 14?
Yes, and I met him when I was 12.
12 is crazy. Like, bro, how do you... Toodles to y'all, because that's like, you know...
Yeah.
Point blank, but 12 to, like, kids to teens to adults, I know y'all went through some stuff.
We went through a lot, and I think that's why... Like, and that's what I always tell him now. Like, hey, like, you have to understand, I'm not who you met when we were in middle school.
And I think like, people fail to realize that. And like, not even outgrowing each other, but like us, like me from 3 months from now, you from 3 months from now, you're not going to be
changed.
Like, literally, you weren't like that girl because you were more shy, reserved.
Well, remember when you met me? First of all, I wasn't working. It took the kids, which we can get into later if you want. Like, he took the kids because he was being petty. And it's because you were a stay-at-home mom. That's why you weren't working, and that's a job itself. I feel like I hate when people want to like, oh well, you know, you're just a mom. Like, that's a job. You got to wake up and you're like clocking in. Like, I wasn't working. I was, you know, going crazy, like drinking all week, like every single weekend. And now I'm like, ugh, I want to be home. Like, I work, you know, full time. Like, I literally am working 6 to like 5:30 every day. And I get my kids every other week now, and I'm not used to that. Like, I went from having my kids 24/7 every second of the day to now having to share them.
I have a question. Do you think like the kids were a big reason why you stayed like back then and like?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Because I can't say my input because I've never been with anybody with kids, and it's like, oh, it's toxic, but like, let's stay for the kids because you want them a 2-parent household. And I feel like a lot of people, I always hear that like, oh well, we stayed for the kids, or we try to make it work for the kids. I think you should normalize like being happy. So like, if that means leaving, then leave.
So normalized.
Because if you're staying together and fighting in front of, like, having a toxic relationship household, like your kids see that and think that's the new normal and all that. And me, a little bit on me, like my father has always been in prison. Like, literally, he got arrested the year I was born. So I've always seen my mom up until high school like single, never with a man. So it was never like, oh, I seen, you know, like my dad doing this or my mom doing that, so it was never nothing to like, I guess, look up to. And I always hear all these other people and see all these other people and why they are the way they are, and it has a lot to do with the household they were raised in.
So let me tell you how that like my perspective. So my ex-mother-in-law would always tell me, like, you don't want your kids, you don't want anyone telling your kids anything. Like, if you leave, like, you're gonna have to move with your parents, or you're gonna have to live with someone to make it. So I can sit here and, you know, I've always said this, I can sit here and talk crap about as a husband. He was not a good husband.
Oh, by the way, her baby,
my baby daddy,
her ex-husband, baby daddy.
But he's always financially given us everything. Like, everything.
He's been the provider.
Yes, always. So she always told me, you know, your kids have everything, you have everything. Like why are you gonna leave?
Sacrifice your happiness and all that because you have like a good materialistic.
Yeah.
And that's hard because
it's so normalized in a Mexican household. Like all Mexicans like, well, you have everything, so why are you
why are you complaining, or why are you being a pendeja, or why? And a lot of people now, I always see even like big celebrities, all that, they're like, well, yeah, he be cheating, but he be paying, or like he'll go cheat on me, but then bring me a Birkin bag and do. I don't know why people normalize that.
Used to like full on, like, you know, we would get in our fights, he would go cheat, and then he'd be like, here's my credit card, like go on a shopping spree. And I was like, okay, like why am I gonna be mad? Like I already got everything. But deep down I wasn't over it. Deep down I was hurt,
because that's like words hurt way worse. Like I've always said that too, like when I was in a relationship, I'm like, I would rather you like sock me in the eye because that black guy's gonna go away than say those hurtful things, or then do that sticks. And because you're like, wow, and you're gonna sit there and compare. You're gonna be like, well, am I not pretty enough, or I'm not this, I'm not that, because of like, those
what
words.
am I not doing? And I'm like, literally, like I did everything right. You know, like I got up every day, I made this man lunch, like I would clean the house.
You were a senora, you had kids to take care of, a husband.
I would take the kids to school, I would clean the house, I would do his laundry, like I would make sure he was taken care of. But maybe emotionally I didn't, because at some point I got to the point where I was like, he doesn't care about my feelings, so why should I care about his? I don't care if you're mad, I don't care if you had a long day at work. Like I had a long day at home, and you're not asking, like you're not coming home and asking me like, how is your day, why are you upset? Like you're just coming home and like nagging me and being mad.
See, when I was like a stay-at-home, whatever you call it, because I wasn't married, I didn't have kids, so that's why it was always like he was always coming home to a clean house, a cooked meal. But I mean, I was blessed to be able to still do my income and stuff like that, but I never was like, you know, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna stay at home.
Well, I had a job.
Yeah, you were a CNA. You were literally,
and he was very like, sadly, like he would be like, well, why do you want to go to school? Like school's so dumb, like it's a waste of money, like you're gonna have to pay all these loans off. I went to college for free. I was very, very fortunate to be able to have like a good GPA, you know, like good grades, and be able to go to college for free, and I didn't have to pay for it. But since he didn't want it for himself, he would be like, well, why do you want it? I'm like, well, dude, like the career you're doing doesn't require that. The career I'm doing requires it. And like he didn't see it. Like I was doing it because I wanted a better future for ourselves, and then also for me, because at that point I had already accepted the fact, like, girl, in a few years, like, you're gonna be a single mom, like you need to be able to provide for your kids. And even then, like now I can't even work in healthcare because I connect myself as a CNA as myself when I was with him. Like I feel like I did that for us, so now I'm like, I don't want to do that. It reminds me of me when I was with him. And
do you, because that's how I am too, like since I'm grieving Gabriel and stuff, I don't like doing a lot of things, so I'm like, that would never be me, and I already accepted like that old life would never be my life now. But would you say a lot of like moms and stuff are like that? Because like, let's say in your situation, because I see this happen a lot, where like they're stay-at-home moms and they don't have like an income or anything for them, and then like, you know, God forbid they separate, and then now it's just the girl on her own, no, like, you know, like no income, no nothing to like fall back on, because she was too busy being a stay-at-home mom. So it's like, do you think girls should have some type of income coming in, even though if they're stay-at-home, like I think just me, like I would, since I'm like a natural born hustler,
I'm like, girl, start an Etsy shop. Like,
literally something. So you think that should be more normalized, like you're a mom but still have like your own income and still have, because anything could happen, like
don't ever depend on anyone. Like I went from literally this man depending on him for everything, and then I got to a point where like even like the dumbest little things, I'm like, I want a new eyeliner. I'm like, well, you're gonna have to wait. And I was like, no, like I want it now, like I need it now. Or like, oh, I want new shoes. Oh, okay, well, you're gonna have to wait. And I'd be like, no. And like the only reason why that would piss me off is because I would see him spending money on himself. So I'd be like, well, then why do I have to wait? So then I got to a point where I was like, you know what, no, like I need to work, I need to be able to provide for myself. Like it's also not fair for him to be having to take care of me and giving me everything I want. And like, you know, I feel like, yes, a man should take care of you, but there's also like a fine line where it's like, okay, they're
have something going for yourself too. Because that's like
find yourself. Don't wait.
And a lot of people get lost, because I even see like myself, like I was grieving, and I'm still grieving, but like coming out of that relationship, I was like, wow, like because you kind of like, that's all you know, so you're like, well, what do I like to do, what do I want to do, or what do I do for fun, or what calms me down, or like, so it's like, And I feel like for a second I did think that. I was like, well, like I didn't have nothing going for myself, but at the end of the day, like I was still like, I worked from home, I was a breadwinner, I was this, I was that. I think it was more just like I fell off and I was just like grieving hard. But then once I got back up, I'm like, okay, like get it together, like you need to move out your parents' house, you need to, you know. So that, but I'm thankful that I actually had like, you know, an income from doing my pendejadas. So that, but I was like thinking, I was like, dang, if I wouldn't have, and like if it was just Gabriel working and like me living off of his income, like what would I have done? Like literally, what would I have done? Because
I felt like I had nothing going on for me in Greeley. Like I was like, and everywhere I went, it was like
and Greeley. If you live in Colorado, Greeley is nothing but cows. I like Greeley though.
I love cows.
I feel like I'm always everybody's gay friend. They never have gay friends until they meet me and they're like, bruh, I had
a gay friend in high school. Shout out Kevin, but I don't know where he went.
I'm just kidding. I
don't know where he went. Kevin. Like he's like, I don't know.
You're like, girl, I don't know. You haven't tried reaching out to him?
I don't know where he went. He just like disappeared after high school.
He's okay. Let's send prayers to Kevin. But everyone I meet out here, they never had a gay friend where it's like.
But I wasn't close to him. I guess I would just talk to him like with you.
Oh, I think you told me about that.
Yes, like I just wasn't close to him.
Because with me, I put all my homegirls on. If you're my homegirl, I'm like DL, like this, that, and the third. And a lot of girls don't have that. Like they don't know.
Can we talk about Chris being so homophobic?
I'm crying. Okay, I'm like I don't know how to explain it because I've met other gays that are like me. Like I'm just not a rainbow gay. I'm just not a like I'm gonna shove my sexuality down your throat gay. I believe that you should not, because I do it how I grew up. I was in school, I never even knew what like gay meant. I never was seen 2 boys 2 girls kissing. I never seen none of that, so I still grew up to who I am today. So I don't like how now they're trying to push that down kids' throats because it's confusing them. And if a heterosexual person were to say what I say, they're considered homophobic. So it takes someone in the LGBT community like myself to say this, because I think they should keep all that out of schools and let kids be kids, leave my kids alone, because I have nieces and nephews and I wouldn't want to confuse them in any way, shape, or form. I don't think they should shove that down kids' throat, because I just go it off of me. Like I always know I was different. I didn't know what gay was until I got older and knew like, oh, okay. So that's why it's just confusing, and I am very strong on that. Should be out of schools. That should leave the children alone and let adults be adults and this and that.
They're gonna learn about it anyway. We know about it now.
It's okay to teach kids, like, you know, treat everyone equally and about that stuff, but don't shove it down their throat. Like let the kids be kids.
And honestly though,
that is why I'm like not your typical gay, and that's why I'm homophobic, because a lot of gays will just think they know it's not right and they'll just follow it because that's what a lot of gays are, and they think that's okay when it's not. I'm like, it's generally not okay. Like I don't think that should, you know, fly. So that is why I'm like quote unquote homophobic or whatever. I just there's a lot of gays I'm just like and it's because when a lot of, I don't know if lesbians are like this, but a lot of gay men, like if I walk into a room, they automatically assume like, oh, there's another gay. Like it's kind of like women, like 2 baddies, or maybe not necessarily baddies, but like, oh, like competition, or like stuck up, rude. And I'm like, why are you like that? Like it's
sad.
And a lot are like that. So I'm just like, girl, I don't know, that could get taken out of context. Like I'm not homophobic like that, but just a lot of people will say I am, just because
he just says what I
agree with, because it's right.
Yeah, like he says what I wish I could say, but I know I can't say because I'll get canceled.
Right is right, wrong is wrong. Leave the kids alone, and point blank. Like, I just know because I grew up and I would never seen any of that. Like the rainbow meant pretty, and like, you know, it's not like oh, rainbows represent gay. A rainbow does not represent me. I'm just throwing that out there. A rainbow does not represent me, so don't categorize me with that.
And because I came to you because I was like, hey, how did you know you were gay?
I'm, like, literally you asked,
trying to prepare myself in case my
because her son gay. Say that story, like say what happened.
So we were just talking about, you know, him like with school, whatever. They had done a little project and he said he wanted to be a doctor, and I was like, baby, you know, doctors make a lot of money, like you're gonna live in a big house, whatever. And he loves Spider-Man, let's say that. And I was like, okay. I was like, so do you want to have kids one day? Because, you know, these are just conversations I have with my kids.
A normal conversation.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I want a son and a daughter. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, so where are you guys going to live? Like, you know, when you guys, you know, when you have kids. And he was like, oh, in my Spider-Man room. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, you're going to, you know, I was laughing about it. And I was like, okay, so you're going to have your wife there? And he was like, no, Damien's going to live with us. And I know Damien is his best friend. So I was like, Damien? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to get married to Damien. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, you like Damien? Like, you have a crush on him? And he was like, yeah, I like him. I think he's cute. So then I'm like, okay, you know, we're human beings.
He's 10, right?
At this time, actually, though, he was 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, you know, me, I'm like, okay, as human beings, whether men want to say it or not, it's normal for us to think other human beings are attractive.
Yeah. So and they're kids, so you're not going to sit there and be like, oh, well, no.
Well, I'm like, I'm like, he's just confusing. Like, okay, I love him. Like, he's my best friend. Yeah. So I want to have kids with him. So then I was like, okay. So then that just got me thinking. And then I started, you know, talking to him. And like, the older he gets, like, still to this day, I'll be like, hey, baby, like, is there any girls in your class that are cute? He's like, no. I'm like, what about boys? And then he'll tell me, like, the boys that he thinks are cute.
So do you think he's going to grow up gay, or do you think like it's
I'm like, I don't know if I can say this on here. Cut it out if I can.
Don't say it, because I say that if I ever have kids, I do want kids. I know we're talking about this.
Yeah,
I don't want them.
Surrogate.
I don't want them to be gay. I know what it is like going through and being different. I don't want that on my kids.
I mean, it's already hard for me because he has autism.
Yeah,
so he's already different.
I was like the first gay, and my family's very like, you know, chola, like Chicano background, so that to them is like, no, that's not right.
Yeah.
So when I came out, I was in high school, and at first my mom was just trying to adapt to it. Like, we would get in arguments all the time, girl. Like, we'd be fighting. She'd be sitting there calling me a faggot. She'd be like, I'm gonna get AIDS. Like, we'd just be going back to like arguing.
Goodness. Yeah.
And now as an adult, like, she loves me, she accepts me, you know? But back then I was learning, and I forgave her because I knew like she was still learning about all that, because I was new to her, and she was healing, and she was adapting to that, because she didn't know anyone gay. No one in our family was gay.
And
so this day, no one in our family's gay. Like, I'm the only like peas in a pot. Like,
and I don't want him to be gay, not because I'm homophobic, because I'm terrified for him. Yeah. Because like I said, he already has autism. He's already different. Yeah. And even that, like, finding out he had autism and knowing he was going to be different, like, I feel like I've already like protected him so much from the world. And then like now finding, like, you know, if he is gay, I don't know, I can't say he is, I can't say he's not, but if he is, I'm like, now I have to protect you even more. And like, the world is so ugly.
Yeah, literally. Like, I got bullied so bad. Like, I still get bullied and left out, and it's kind of like I'll go in a room and like, you know, people are like, oh, he's gay, or oh, like, you know, now I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll tell myself like, it's because they're gay and hidden in the closet. But sometimes I do feel sad. I'm like, dang, I do get left out. Like, sometimes people don't want to talk to me just because they're like, if I associate with him, like, I look bad, or I look. So that's why it's like, dang, like, it is, even as an adult, I still get like separated and
I'm so glad that Jacob is so careless. Like, he's literally to himself. I love my babies, but I wish I would have never had them.
What?
Because it's terrifying. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Do you think that goes back to just because of how today's society is? Because I know a lot of people are like, I just feel
like the world is so ugly, and I feel like nobody deserves to live in the world right now.
Yeah, and like, there's a lot of people that don't have kids yet, and they've been together forever, but they're like, I don't want to bring a child into society. So is that why you're saying that?
Yes, because society
this is going to be online forever. So that's why I want your babies to see this when they're older, and they're like, dang, mom didn't want to have this.
I love my babies, and I wouldn't trade them for the world. But if God came down and told me, hey, like, when I was 14, if he would have told me, hey, so you know, like, this is what the world is, because even from when I was 14 to now, like,
you were still a child when you had your first child.
It's changed a lot. And but if God would have told me, hey, just so you know, like, the world is gonna be ugly, like, there's gonna be wars, like, people are nasty, like, they look at your kids and fantasize about them, like, you know, the economy, like, just everything, how bad it is, I would have been like, like, no, like, I do not want to bring any more humans into this world. And that's why now I say, I'm like, I will not have any more kids. I won't have any kids because the world is ugly.
You know, a lot of gays are like, oh, like, I was molested when I was little, that's why I'm gay. None of that ever happened to me.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a bad childhood. It's just my parents got divorced and they wilded out. So I feel like, you know, my brother, like the middle child, he was like, oh yeah, I was always out with my friends. I was like, well, you were 9, like, what were you doing out like that late? So me as a teenager, I feel like I would have wilded out. Like, all my friends were always partying, like, they were always drinking, they were having sex, and I'm like, yeah, I lost my virginity at 14, but I wasn't out hoeing around. Like, I was sleeping with the same man.
And see, me, that's like,
I'm like, you caught an STD at 14, girl, what?
I'm crying. I was not like out here wilding either until I went to like high school. Then I would like go out partying and all that, but like I had like a normal childhood. Like,
well, even in high school, I wasn't doing that. Like I went to one house party.
I think it's crazy too how like a lot of my generation, I'm a 98 baby, that we were having sex young.
We were, yes. I was in middle school.
Why was that? Like, because I was out here.
Mine was 98 too. I was 98 too.
One thing about me.
So what year did you graduate?
2016.
16?
Yeah, 2016.
So you graduated what? I graduated 17.
Oh, period.
Yeah.
You're a super senior. That's why I graduated.
No, I was not
I graduated and I was 16.
You got me fucked up. No.
I graduated. I was 16 years old. Fact check it.
Oh, so you graduated early?
Well, it's because how my birthday fell. So then I graduated, and then 3 months later I turned 17.
Oh wow! I graduated on time. Okay. I was not a super senior. Let's get that straight. Actually, too,
when I was in like 3rd grade, they did bump me up to 4th, but I don't know why. Like,
were you just super smart?
I hated school. I have ADHD, so I just hated school. I hated.
You were that kid that was like in the back of the classroom going crazy, and everyone was like,
I was that kid that was talking to everybody. I was honestly really popular in high school, but that's like, I'm glad I didn't peak because I was ugly then and big and like, because I was so young. Everyone was all with beards. I'm all with a baby face, like, hey y'all. And so now I'm fine. Like, I love myself. I know I'm fine now.
See, I feel like I was fine in high school, and now they're like, look at this ugly bitch.
I see a lot of people that were fine then, and I'm like, y'all peaked. Like, blame that birth control on why you gained weight, but okay.
Well, I mean, I gained weight, but I have 3 kids. So I'm like, for the girls...
Like, where's your excuse?
Yeah, I'm like, what's your excuse? Like, you gained weight, why? Because you're mad and miserable? Can I say that, or am I going to get canceled?
No, I don't know. I just know I want to be an actor.
Are we going into the skit?
You want to do a skit? You think I could be a good actor?
I feel like you can, but I feel like I can't. I can't act for shit. I'm just gonna sit here and laugh.
No, we can be serious. Okay, and scene. Well, I just don't know why you have all this animosity towards me and you don't like me.
Because you literally fucked my boyfriend.
Okay, but like, it's not my fault. And yes, we met and I knew you when it happened, but it happened. Like, I don't know what you want me to do, what you want me to say. I was drunk. You're taking it out on me and not blaming your ex-boyfriend now because clearly he likes men, on him, and you're taking it out on me. Why am I getting all the backlash and all that when it's like he had a part in it too?
Because we were just trying to see it. Like, you didn't have to take it that far.
Yeah, but I barely met you. We were friends for like maybe a month. It's not my fault if your boyfriend comes on to me. I'm gonna just be here like, if it happens, it happens. Hey, I don't know this girl. Like, did I know we were gonna have a beautiful friendship like we do now? No. But you could say thank you to me, because if it weren't for me, you wouldn't have known your previous boyfriend is gay.
Chris, you just have the history of fucking everyone's boyfriends. Like, let's be real.
Okay, but like, it's
Chris, I'm not gonna argue with you.
It's not my fault. You decided to come on here and you sat here and you knew exactly what you were getting yourself into. Stop, that was good. And I've never done that before, you guys. I've never fucked any of my friends' boyfriends.
Yeah, guys, it was not real.
We got a different type. Let's get into that.
Let's get into that.
Because you like Mexicans, dirty. This is my perspective. But look at how you review the men I like. You're like, they're crazy. They're
old and white, literally unseasoned, like bald.
White guys bald at 28? They can't help it.
No, I like my men tall, tattoos with the fade, with their Air Forces.
Because a lot of Mexicans are gay. Like, they're DL. Like, let's be for real.
Yeah.
Females only, fam. Like, for real. I know for a fact, because there's some guys she be messing around with, and I'm like,
no. I don't mess around with him. I had a thing with this guy, right? First of all, I had a thing with this guy, and then he just gave red flags. And like, Chris has shown me a lot. Like, this is why everyone needs a gay friend.
Literally.
Because he's literally shown me how to point out like a DL man. So we're hanging out, and you know, he's trying to get to know me. I'm trying to get to know him. And then he asked me, so who do you hang with? And I was like, oh, I have 2 best friends, Adi and Chris. And he's like, oh, Chris is a man. And I was like, yeah. I was like, but he's gay, because I know, you know, how men feel about girls having guy best friends. And I was like, yeah, but he's gay. And he was like, oh, I can't be around him. And I was like, why? And I straight up told him that's a red flag.
Yeah.
But then he goes, is he gay or is he like trans gay?
It's giving, well, he was in prison, but
yes,
it's giving he would have messaged Gianna.
Yes, he was in prison for 7 years, and he's like, we used to find these men like in the cells, like having sex, like the OGs. Keep in mind, he's a hoodie, because I love my hood man.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
She love him.
I love him. But yeah, so he's like telling me, about that. And he's like, we used to find like the hoodest of the hoodest, like messing around. But at the same time, he's claiming to be very hood.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, is he throwing hints? Like, is he letting me know?
Because I was the one. And he's on like we're not going to promote what app, but he's on a dating app.
That's how I met him.
He has it in his bio, females only fam.
Like, you can change the settings.
So I'm like,
because I've never had no girls pop up on mine.
Yeah, literally.
It's nothing but men.
Yeah. And when you showed me him, I was like, girl, he looked.
You said he would be loved in the trans community, and he asked me
about me. Yeah,
he was like, is he gay, like gay, or is he trans gay? And I was like,
about me. That's why I was like, girl, you better run. Because look, compare that to like, we're not gonna say names.
Colorado.
And he's so nice and like, oh yeah, like he's so cool. You're
talking about Texas.
Yeah. And then too, Colorado as well too. But then this is the friend I was saying that when we were on about, I gave her like someone's number. I like connected them.
Yes.
I'm Cupid. I think everyone deserves to be in love.
He called you Cupid, remember?
Yeah, because I am. I'm Cupid. And he was really nice, so cool. Like, yeah, bring him, tell him let's go out, because I'm just a vibe. If you are uncomfortable with a gay male's presence, you have some own digging in your closet to do, point blank period. I can come around anybody, any girl, anybody, anything, any they, them, blue, black, purple, green, and I'm not like, oh my gosh, like they're making me feel like I'm not who I am. And
I feel like when we met Texas, I feel like he was talking to you more, like a man-to-man conversation.
It's because he showed respect, because I was like, hey, and they're not my type. I make that. If you're my type, I'm nervous around you.
Shout out Texas.
I'm nervous around you. You would know. You're gonna be like,
And he asked about you, like when we went on our date. He was like, how is he doing? Like, he's like, I fuck with him. Like, he's cool.
I'm like, wait, you didn't tell me all that. I'm like,
no, he was just like, he's cool, he's loud, and he was like, that's why you caught my attention, because you and Chris were being loud when you guys left the ice cream place.
Though, because I see it, I was like, how my older brother, he has a gay brother.
Shout out Chris's brother.
Oh my gosh, let's not get him in trouble.
So fine.
Everyone always says that. I'm like, if I had $1 for
I'm like, so what? I was like, he's just fun to look at. He's just eye candy.
Fun to look at.
Keep
crazy.
that. I'm like, keep that in. Keep that in, Monica. Go.
But like with him, he's like he's told me before, like he'd be around his homeboys. Clearly he's a straight male. He's like, if they're like being homophobic and stuff, he's like, hey, you do know I have a gay younger brother, like don't be saying that. He'll like check him and stuff. And so now that's why he's so like comfortable around gays and all that, because he's like, oh, like my brother, like you remind me of my brother. So maybe he has somebody gay in his life that he's like, oh, but let's say somebody's watching and they're in your shoes, like they're with somebody that they have kids with and they're not happy and they want to leave, but if they do, they're scared or they don't know what's gonna come from it. What would you give advice to them?
I say this, it's better for kids to have 2 happy homes than 1 toxic home. Like now my babies get 2 birthdays, they get 2 Christmases, they get 2 of everything, and now they get a happy dad and a happy mom. All I have to say is it's possible. I mean, it's not easy, but also being in that toxic place is not easy either. So pick your fight. Like literally pick your fight. Pick your battle. Do you want to sit here and be in that battle where you're going to be mad because of someone, or do you want to pick the battle where and stuck, or do you want to pick the battle where you're going to push yourself to be better and do better for yourself and for your kids? Because we matter too. Like as much as we want to sit here and say like, oh, it's for our kids, you matter too. Like they if always you're say not that, like, okay, I'm gonna
sacrifice myself for my kids, but it's like, why not be a better you for your kids?
And not even for you. I was out here dating. Like I was talking to guys, but like I'm telling you, I feel like I'm just at this point where I'm like,
your dating is different from I wouldn't consider that dating. And we have this conversation. If we go on a few dates and we're hanging out, we're not dating. Dating to me is that title. We're boyfriend and boyfriend.
No,
so if you are out here saying we dated, we did not date, baby. I don't know you. That was my AI. That was not me. That was not me.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I can't really say I've dated anyone.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Dating is boyfriend or girlfriend, boyfriend.
Like we're being only each other. Like
that title. That's dating. Dating isn't, that's how I see it. Dating isn't going out on, we went to have dinner, we hung out only 4 times, we never made love, like had sex, none of that. That's not dating. So everyone's Yeah, I don't think.
I'm like, I had a sneaky link. Okay,
Yeah,
and then it turned into like messy.
But I think sneaky links are like he had a girlfriend and yours.
No, we were both single.
Yeah, so that's not a sneaky link then.
So we're just fucking.
Yeah, literally.
We're just fucking.
Okay, so we're gonna end on that note. They were just fucking. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode. Shout out to my friend Stacy for coming on, and I hope our words left something inputted in your head.
Yes.
So thank you for coming on, girly.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for having me.
Period. You guys can follow her on her Instagram right here. All right, bye guys.
Bye.